Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Talking Podcast with your hosts Ash and JD. Now, for the YouTube viewers,
Or
you will
seven of yous.
notice, yeah, no, we had a good few the other week.
Two of them have been,
Yeah. So anyone that is actually watching, you'll see we're in different surroundings today, which is my fault because I forgot to grab the equipment and take it over to Birmingham with me. So we've compromised and we're at my house today.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having a bit more of a relaxed one. We're on
Yeah.
the cosy sofa.
It is more cozy.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely is,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. And being as it's Friday night, we're going to have a cheeky little beer as
Oi.
well. So, yeah, cheers, lads.
Oh.
Struggling to open it. You can tell he's a fucking drinker like me, lads. Oh,
Also, I am worried that this microphone is going to pick up me slurping.
well, just
The
don't
beers.
slurp too much then, ain't it?
All right.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. So, we've had a interesting couple of weeks with all these refereeing decisions, and I know what a lot of people will be thinking straight away. Oh, here we go. Jay's going to moan about fucking Man United getting fucking, run down and just playing shit. But it's not just about that. So I did see the stats the other day where it's like 6 significant decisions against Man United with the VAR results, where I think it was like 4 disallowed goals, 1 goal allowed that shouldn't have been allowed. Since fucking Jurgen Klopp come out with his comments like 18 months ago saying that United get too many penalties, we've had it's like fucking, I think 3 penalties where Man City have had like 26, Liverpool have had 21 or whatever. So Jurgen Klopp initiated a bit of a fucking stigma around United, and these refs are too scared to do the right thing. It's not just about United with any of this stuff that's been going on recently anyway. There was the Newcastle and Arsenal game, the first goal for them. It looked like it should have, the ball went out of play. Now, they haven't got the line technology to properly see where it has gone out. They haven't got the right angles on the cameras to properly check it. Well, everyone that you're looking at looks out. Now, that ended up being goal given, which again, after that, I think it was Joel Linton had pushed Gabriel in the back as well.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's debatable that it should have been a foul as well.
Yeah, and you also had Bruno Gimenez, and he called an Alba Jorginho.
Yeah.
But going back to that ball situation, I have seen these situations where it looks like the ball has crossed the line from certain angles, but then when you look over the top of the ball from like a bird's eye view, it's still
the ball's
in play.
still in. And the only actual footage that I saw was BN Sports, which is it's still English presenters, which they used to be on TV over here, but one of them we won't say too much because he got kicked off of UK TV.
Anyone that's got a dodgy stick knows what he's on about.
Yeah, and so they did a computer-generated image of the ball, and then from above it showed it in. Now, you looked at it, and the line did look a bit big, but, it's fucking maths, it's geometry, whatever it is, it's in.
Science.
But the main gripe about it was that it was almost identical from the angles that they showed to when Marcus Rashford done a similar situation the other week. Ball was arguably in, but the camera angles that we saw, it looked out exactly the same as it did the other day for Newcastle. And it resulted in a goal, and it got disallowed because the referees and the VAR team says there's not enough evidence to prove that it's in.
Yeah.
So the reasonable doubt goes towards it's a no goal. And they said the same things about the Newcastle situation, but says reasonable doubt it's in, and so it's still a goal. So it's the lack of consistency. Well, the only consistent thing about VAR at the moment is that they are inconsistent.
I mean, for everything that you've just named wrong there, I mean, going back to the Tottenham-Chelsea game on Monday,
yes,
I think they got every decision right besides one, because that had about, I think it had about 6 VAR VAR decisions, and I think there was 3 goals that ended up being disallowed, which was a crazy game in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tottenham ended up being with 9 men.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that when I thought of that game, I thought VAR was working. But then going back to some of the ones you just mentioned,
Mm.
it's consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Um, the Marcus Rashford red card against Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot of these challenges that look horrific when it's slowed down.
yeah, and also, so going back to the Chelsea Tottenham game when the centre back, I can't, the Argentinian lad, I can't remember his name off the top of my head now.
Was
Is
it
it the
Romero? Was it?
Romero? That's the
Yeah.
one. He followed through. He had that follow through. You could
Well,
physically see the follow through.
yeah, you literally see the whole image though. He's off the ground. There's
That's it.
gap between his feet. His studs
And
are
that,
showing,
and that's
and the
another
ground.
countryman. That's his country
Yeah.
teammate.
Yeah.
But with the Marcus Rashford one, for
He's
me, his
defending the ball.
arm was his leg didn't go past his arm, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
it didn't look like he was deliberate going for it. For me, it was just
It's
his
shielding the
arms
ball.
and his balance. That's it's just your balance. You're seeing the players coming, and he's trying to get his foot in front of the player's
Yeah.
foot, and
In
just
that.
hasn't timed it
Yeah.
right.
In that half a second, you're not aiming to land on
No,
someone's foot that's on the floor in front of yours. It's literally he's trying to spin around, shield the ball so he can
yeah.
continue the attack.
I find it like I don't know what the right word is. That everyone like Paul Scholes said it wasn't a red card. I thought it was just a yellow card. I mean, it.
Yeah.
You can
From
slow any tackle down. It looked early, no matter what.
yeah.
Um, no, Owen Hargreaves said he won a red card. The only person who said he was a red card was Robbie Savage. And I mean, how's this geezer telling
I
like
know.
some of the tackles he's saying, and he's saying it's a red card. And I
Well,
think it's ironic now his son's left Man U. That's a red card.
yeah.
Yeah.
This makes me laugh with a lot of the ex-footballers that are pundits now. When they grew up and played the game during a time when it was so physical, violent, there'd
Mm,
be fights, Cantona fly kicking a fucking one of the fans in the crowd and that, and it was a norm. And you had the cheek of Gary Neville to come out and say, look, it's a disgrace, fucking this and that, X, Y, and Z. So no, but you was a part of that culture
yeah.
originally. Even Roy Keane had a stupid one the other week. We've saying, that's not acceptable. It's like, but he was fighting in the tunnel with fucking Vieira.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
to come out with stuff like that, I get it. The game's changed,
yeah.
but they can't make out that they were all saints.
I will say this though. Bruno Fernandes, anyone that listens to this podcast knows I think he's one of the most overrated players ever. I think he's the most overrated player in the Prem. How many times I've seen this geezer tried like a diag and it's never come off. And then like he tries a 10-yard pass and he goes behind the player, then he's moaning like that it's the player's foot. His
Yeah,
arms up in the air too much. I mean, for me, like no one wants to be moaned at in life in general. And like you don't want to be moaned at when you've done something wrong. Because no one's purposely trying to do stuff wrong.
mm,
You know, but he's you know, for me, I think Roy Keane was right. But then, in terms of saying he's not the captain, he's not a leader. But going back to Man U, I don't think there is anyone there now like that consistently gets in the team. So
yeah. Well,
there's
it's
yeah,
sorry. Excuse any background noise. The dog's there chewing on his chew and decides to start choking on it. He's all right though.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't see anyone in the starting 11 that's guaranteed a price. I think the goalkeeper, but obviously he's got an African Cup of Nations, and also how much like Man U at the moment. How much of a shit show is that? Because it looks like they're gonna re-sign David De Gea.
No, so he's not going to re-sign.
He's not. Is he
He
not? Is he
no,
not
so
re-signing for when he goes to?
he came back to England because he's been sorting out Sadney's house. He was watching some of the women's teams.
I know he's meeting up with everyone, but is he
Yeah.
not? Is when Onana goes to the African Cup of Nations?
No, they're not going to sign him for
So
it.
who have they got? I thought,
We've got Bienda. He's our number 2 choice,
fuck
which
yeah.
Ten Hag tried to get, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago for Ajax. So he scouted him for long enough. He
Well,
knows him.
can I just say something? Sorry, Jack.
It's all right.
You're still in your PSV. No, sorry, your Ajax.
Mm.
So Man U put a 45 million bid in for Anthony, and I reckon that like the people that deal was in the second door was like, fuck these, 85 million, you can have him, piss
Well,
taking.
the
And
issue with that, if they would have come in at the beginning of the transfer window, they would have got him for around 40 to 50 million euros. But literally, look, within 3-4 weeks after they'd already sold half their squad,
yeah, and that's
they put the
chasing.
foot down and says, we're not selling any more players now. But then Ten Hag was persistent, he wanted his man. So they've says, right, if you want him, you've got to pay.
I mean, as a winger,
What
I,
do you do?
I don't know. I don't know what he brings to Man U. I mean, he brings that little pirouette thing that.
So the first season was better than what he's been
What
doing at the
is this
moment.
not his first season?
No, this is his second season now.
Fucking hell.
So, Shiru, sorry, we've just got a dog that's being a nose. He's finished his treat now, so he's wanting all
Yeah,
his
he wants
fussies.
another one.
So yeah, he started this season. He had a good pre-season. He had the first couple of games, which was okay, not great, not
Right.
good, but he was okay. And then obviously there was the allegations of
Oh,
the
yeah,
domestic
yeah,
abuse, so
yeah.
he missed a month of that,
That's it.
and so it's trying to find his feet again now. I did say I didn't want to turn it into a Man United rant, but you're the one that wanted to talk about him, so I'm going to do it.
No, I just obviously because I think like Man U is like every time I open like a football app, it's just Man U, Man U. I mean,
it's
I don't know a team that spends so much money and then says we don't play attacking football. We've not made a team. Look, well, who?
yeah,
What?
it's it's a hard job for Ten Hag in general because he's dealing with literally now he's got another Alex Ferguson player back
Yeah,
in the team as Johnny Evans.
yeah,
He's got Mourinho players, Van Gaal players,
yeah.
Solskjaer players. So that's 4 to 5 different managers worth of players, and he's trying to make
But
it work.
I did say to I think I said it to you that once Rashford gets his contract, he's a negotiable again.
Yeah, yeah,
I
well,
mean, that's all. I mean, I think that's all people see Man U as a payday.
yeah, yeah, and
Payday, easy ride, 4 years, get like Varane.
Varane, yeah.
I mean, when Johnny Evans is getting ahead of you, there's a problem, mate.
Well, yeah, Varane's got his injury issues, and there's a bit of a conspiracy going around now that it's Ten Hag. So obviously he ended up forcing Ronaldo out.
I mean,
Sancho's fucking away
yeah,
with the fairies, playing fucking FIFA at home on 375 grand a week. And Varane and Casemiro are both on around 300 grand a
yeah.
week as well.
That
So
Casemiro tries though. I just think he's having a bit of bad form.
yeah,
The
he's
the one thing I'm sorry, John, I
yeah,
keep 375 grand a week. If you got paid 375 grand a year to play football, you'd run your fucking. You just you just least try on it.
yeah. I mean,
Eat
we've
right
said it enough times. It wouldn't take much more of a salary that we already take home for us to be fucking
to play
fantastic at
football.
football. If if we was earning enough playing football to pay the bills that we already do,
Yeah, you
then
just
it would be training all the time, playing, and
yeah
fucking being as good as possible. But yeah,
yeah that
Sancho's situation, we don't exactly know everything that's gone on, but that derived from his tweet after the comment of Ten Hag saying that he didn't put him in the day squad because he felt that he didn't train hard enough. So Sancho was like, "Well, no, I put my effort in all the time training. It's not my problem that the manager's got favourites, basically." Which, again, it's understandable when you've got the likes of Anthony who wasn't playing well, getting picked every
yeah
game. Rashford not in form, getting picked every game. Um, so it's understandable. But at the end of the day, getting paid to play.
yeah
It it should be something in the contracts that if you're doing stuff like that, you shouldn't be allowed to get your full wage,
yeah
especially fucking 375 grand a week, to be forced out of the first team, made to play with the youth squad. Well, train, not even play. He's been exiled from the dressing room. He's not allowed to go on the
yeah
meals with them
yeah.
or anything. It's all he's just out.
I mean, you think of that outlay from Man U, 75 million he was to buy him,
Hmm
375 grand a week. That's not including bonuses. He must have bought. I mean, and we just guesstimating it. Oh, maybe 5 million bonuses a year.
Well,
A sign-on bonus,
yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't get your sign-on bonus like up front. It gets
Yeah, it's divvied up over a
Yeah,
couple of
I
years,
mean,
and
did you see the Ben Foster one when he was on about his bonuses when he was on West Brom?
uh,
And so it's like, so it's 40 grand a week,
yeah,
but if you played, basically, he worked out. It was something like if he plays 2 games, clean sheets, and it ended up being like 80 grand a week or
mm,
something. And then at the end of the season, you get your you had £1 million loyalty bonus.
yeah,
Oh fucking hell! Can you imagine what these Man U players are getting? And
yeah. I can.
he was the one who was mentioned that some of these players are clearing like £10 million a year bonuses. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sure it was him. That's
Well,
just
yeah,
on
because Foster's
bonuses.
quite good. Yeah, I
It's
do
quite.
like his
I like
podcast.
the insight that he brings to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because again, I'll bring up Mark Goldbridge again. He does the Fozcast and stuff with
Yeah.
him, and
Mark
they've got
Goldbridge
the
just needs to get you on now, don't he?
like fucking well. Uh, so he done a podcast with I don't know who it was, to be honest now. But I only listened to it this morning. It came out yesterday, and they weren't really talking about football. It was all like about his personal life and this
Yeah.
and that. Like, and it was a good fucking listen.
Yeah.
Everyone sees this person that he is, his live reactions and his wittiness and that, and then to see the stuff he's growing up. He's ex-police,
Yeah.
ex-banker, and fucking whatever, and this and that. It's interesting to see the other side of him. Um, but yeah, so the stuff that he does with Ben anyway, like it's quite eye opening to see the stuff like that when they're talking about
Yeah.
wages and everything. Plus, just in general, he's a nice bloke, and Ben Foster. He's obviously done well enough as for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And you think apart from when he was at your Man United, which he was never first choice keeper,
Mm.
um, he's only had the main spells with like Birmingham City, West Brom, and that.
Watford as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's earned enough money playing for them clubs. So you think, sorry, I'm just looking at the dog. He's going to knock the fucking camera in a minute. If it does have some weird editing point, it's just because of this donut. Um. So yeah, you think of all the other goalkeepers and that play for the top earning clubs. I mean, De Gea over the years, I think he was on 324 grand a week on his
Yeah.
last contract with
That was for
United.
5 year contract,
5 years,
wasn't
yeah. Kepa and all that, fucking Chelsea's goalkeepers, Real Madrid and this and that.
it? I
God knows
always
what they
yeah.
fucking are.
I always think with goalkeepers because you think, oh, they don't get paid as much as a striker or whatever,
Mm.
but they've got the longevity where they can still be a prime. I mean, obviously,
Well, Buffon's only just retired,
yeah,
really,
and he was
and
like 40.
he was older than that, like
Was he 40?
44 or something.
You know, there you go. Then
I
so like,
think David James was 42 when he retired as well.
so you get the
You know.
longevity, so you get your money's worth there as
Yeah,
well
yeah,
from them.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, going back to VAR, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Just a slight
So as I
detour.
say, it wasn't just to have a rant about Man United's lack of decisions. As we were saying, the Tottenham Romero's dirty challenge and this and that, and um, potential fucking red card for Liverpool last night that wasn't given. It was a yellow card. Uh, there's a major difference between the Premier League refereeing and then the European
Mm,
competitions as well. They're a bit more lenient and I don't know, just a bit more common sense when it comes to the European referees. Whereas it's frustrating because the Premier League, it's meant to be the best league in the
yeah,
world, and apart from the actual um, the competitiveness of it, where Brighton, who would have thought fucking 6-7 years ago that Brighton would be a dominant force
yeah.
like they
Just
are?
being Ajax near Europa.
Well, Ajax have dropped off it.
Yeah, I
Fucking,
think they're like fucking
they're pretty much bottom, aren't they?
yeah, definitely in the
Yeah,
relegation. But I mean, that would be fucking historic if they go down.
yeah, yeah.
Do you remember when
You
Borussia
know,
Dortmund had that smell where they was like just
yeah, they were
avoided
teetering,
relegation?
weren't they? Yeah,
Yeah, a few years
um,
back. I mean, it
yeah.
happens, don't it? I mean, Chelsea, but I think they finished like 15th a few seasons ago as well.
Uh,
Like, I
was it
think,
last season? Was it though as
was he,
well?
I mean,
Because obviously they're not in any
no,
European
nah, nah.
competition, so they were outside of the top 8 last season. They're still not having a good season this
Also, sorry, that's the thing. You spend a billion pound on
in
players
12 months as well, though, and not one
and
striker.
not one striker, and you've got
Absolutely
Lukaku
horrendous.
banging for Roma.
Mm.
Fucking hell.
Well,
It's
obviously the season before he was banging them in for Inter Milan.
yeah, yeah.
It's fucking. It's horrendous.
The thing is, I suppose there is a lack of quality strikers at the moment. Obviously, Harry Kane's doing in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but mate, I know that I could go to fucking Bayern Munich and play
Yeah,
and get at least 10 goals in
it's
the
like
season.
playing for Man City. You're gonna get 10 tap-ins.
Yeah.
I think everyone that plays some kind of form of football, if they was Man City up front, played for Man City up front,
Mm,
you'd back yourself to get 10 goals over the course of the season. So that's
yeah.
like Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and League Cup.
Yeah.
So you got games in there.
Yeah.
You got games. I would back myself to score 10 goals for Man City. If I'm training every day with Man City,
Yeah, because
I'm
obviously you're going to
scoring.
be fit enough to be
Yeah,
able to get into the match day
yeah.
squad. But even off the bench, I'd still reckon I'd be able to do it. I'd be like, fucking, come on, Pep. Fucking, or Tuchel, from Bayern. Put me on for 10 minutes. Just flood the ball in the
Just,
box, mate.
yeah,
Just get
4
me
0
in it.
up, I'll finish it off.
Yeah,
4 0.
I'll stay in that box.
Yeah.
Just make sure I'm onside. Tell the lads to fucking whip it in, and I'm fucking banging them in.
Also, I want
And I was a goalkeeper.
to
Fucking
a shout out to Doku for Man City because
yeah.
he's the only winger with flair that we don't
Mm.
see anymore. They're already struck at his stripe where they're just culling pass. No one wants to like. There's just nothing there. There's no. You remember? I remember Prime. No, I think Naby was. We just had so many great players growing up, like
We
flair players,
we were spoiled.
Ronaldinho.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
I was spoiled as a Man United fan anyway. That's why it's harder the last 10 years of playing
Mm,
shit. So, I have to try and take myself out of it and think, well, hang on, I had a good spell,
yeah.
20 years or so of fucking, great results. But yeah, we grew up with the Beckhams as well. Yeah, Ronaldinho,
Just
both
flair. Look,
Ronaldos,
yeah,
fucking,
literally just flair. Messi.
yeah,
Like everyone just had a bit of flair. Like
yeah.
Neymar. I mean, I've spoke about him being overrated, but
Even the likes of Joe Cole as well, though.
yeah, yeah,
He had
just
a good couple of
yeah.
seasons. Fucking
I mean,
amazing.
if we was to think about it, I mean, Turam, that player for QPR, I mean, he
Mm.
was unreal. I mean, he was just unreal.
There was loads, any,
I mean, he was just
but
made
it,
for the
it weren't
streets.
even just the Premier League as well,
No, it
though.
was a championship level. You
Yeah,
get
Championship was loads of them. Fucking, uh, like Kevin Phillips was it? Fucking, that played for Blues.
what a striker.
Yeah, I remember him fucking just being
Yeah,
fantastic.
you know,
James Beattie, underrated. Unfortunately didn't get a good
there's
run.
look,
Fucking, but
there's just the flair. There's like Suarez had it,
yeah, yeah,
Sturridge even had it. Like that.
yeah, yeah.
That just that little
Kyle
bit of.
Walcott as well. Fucking,
I mean, he was just pace. I mean,
but it was just a matter of the fucking being able to take players
yeah,
on and fucking
Ozil,
do something.
Flair.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Fucking
it's.
Zola. Fucking.
I just feel like it's.
Oh, we had
I mean,
loads, man.
Henry. I mean, Bergkamp. We
Bergkamp.
go here. I mean,
Ah,
once you get going, there's the list. But then
Ribery. Jesus.
when you think now, what player? Look, wingers. Let's stick to wingers or attacking. Attacking wingers, attacking wide men. There's no one that really, gets you on your seat. And I've
Well,
watched him, and I mean, he
yeah,
looks unreal. I mean,
Doku. Yeah,
he looks the
he's
part. He
good.
looks that old school. You get, you show a bit.
Yeah, but again, it's playing in the confident team of Man
Mm,
City, knowing that you've got fucking Haaland in the box that you can just back the ball
whack the
to.
ball in.
That's most likely going to get on
Yeah.
the end of it and fucking score.
Well, that's why we'd
You're going to be
score
able to
10
do it.
goals for him,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. So, but now I don't watch enough other games to be able to comment on too many, but religiously, as much as I don't want to do fucking at the moment, I do watch every United game, and I've been saying it for fucking pretty much all of this season because of the poor form of Rashford. Garnacho needs to play, and the last couple of games that he has played, now fair enough, he's still young, he's still learning, but it just reminds me of when Giggs was fucking young as well.
Mm,
Always exciting, something's going to happen. Not always it does fucking, he might misplace a pass or like miscontrol it, but he just gets it and he goes for the defender. He attacks him and then he'll do a little fucking jucky jam and whip the ball in. He's not always like the way Rashford and Anthony are. He's happy to throw a crossing. And that's why I did like the first 40 minutes of the fucking Copenhagen game because Garnacho was on the left, Rashford was on
all
the
right.
right, and Rashford actually looked disciplined in that role at that
Yeah,
point.
he got red carded because he was tracked back
Yeah,
in
he
his
was
own
tracking
half.
back. He was defending, and he wasn't trying to cut in and have a shot. He was actually,
Yeah.
throwing the ball in, doing a nice little cross.
It's because he's on the right side, isn't he? And obviously,
And this is the problem with modern football, the inverted wingers. Like, if you're right-footed, play on the right wing, not on the left. Fucking
I don't know. I mean, like, I get what you're saying.
no,
Like, when
because
you think of
that's the main thing. Then, if you're fucking inverted, you're more enticed to come in on your strong foot and have the shot,
but some,
unless you dropped back a little bit further and then you're crossing it in.
yeah. Oh, also, flair players just come to mind. Musa Dembele, Tottenham, what
Oh
an
yeah,
absolute beast. But yeah, I think it's one of those. And sometimes you get those players that you know they're going to do it. The Robins, the Sellers. You just can't stop them. But then
no,
you, yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. No, like with these inverted, you know which way they're going to go.
yeah. So
So
that's
it's
why
but then
the first like, couple of months when Anthony was at United, that was why he had a good little spell of form
mm,
because the rest of the league didn't know his style of play.
yeah,
Once they'd clocked, well, hang on, let's fucking keep him out to the corner flag. Let's stop him from coming in and shooting on his left. That was when he's dipped. And that's the frustrating thing about these modern day footballers is that he's only left footed.
mm,
Like, why doesn't he fucking stay back or even at home with a fucking bag of balls himself and just use his right foot? Just practice,
yeah,
practice, practice. I fucking did it, as say, obviously, fucking, we've spoke about it before. I was a goalkeeper and I did it with my left foot because I was predominantly right footed. And I remember just shooting at the goal and fucking like little free kicks and whatever. And I ended up being better for a little period of time with my left foot than I was with my right.
well, it's like Gael Kishi. They used to play for Arsenal
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Man City. He was naturally right-footed, but
Mm.
learned his left. But then you got people like Robin that we just mentioned that was so left-footed. He was unreal, but he was so good with it.
Yeah, because
He only needed his left,
he had the tricks and
and
the
he
skills
had the pace, didn't he? He had
and but the football intelligence as well. You know, he was able to take on the
yeah,
players, get around, get in, do this and do that, and it didn't matter that he just had his left foot.
yeah,
You know, Anthony, it's just not good enough. You know, he's not 90 million good enough.
yeah. I really think you need to go on this Mark Garbage podcast.
Uh,
Just get you in there.
yeah, I'd happily go on there.
You'll have to ask him, mate.
Oh no, I
Show him
need
our 10 views on YouTube.
yeah, yeah. But the one of them had 32, mate. Fucking hell.
Someone accidentally left them fucking just
Yeah, but yeah, it's fucking. So anyway, the refs, the fucking, it's like they're all little best mates, and the two like up their own arses to admit that they've made a
mm,
mistake. Where they just need to own up. You know, it's the lack of consistency. Like, I'd get it if there was fucking like again with the United game the other night. It was like, oh no, we've already given two handballs. We can't give another one.
yeah.
Like, no, it doesn't matter if there's fucking 3 or 10 handballs. If they're a penalty, they're a penalty. You know, it shouldn't matter how many there is. Don't start changing the rules in the middle of the game. Like, they can't do that. You gotta follow the fucking rules. And it's frustrating as a fan of football in general because you just don't know from game to game
Yeah.
what performance you're gonna get. You know, again with the mix up with the fucking the VAR, or you know, he'll be refing the game. Not Michael Oliver. He'll be fucking refing the game the one day, and then on the Sunday he'll be fucking in the VAR,
Yeah.
and he'll still contradict himself the day after of
Yeah.
being in the pitch and then being in the room. So, no, you should know your style of refing. You can't change it. Say you've got the rule book, you've got to follow it to that letter, and yeah, it stems back again to fucking. You slow any of these tackles down, they're gonna look 100 times worse.
Yeah. I feel like VAR is still obviously it's not its complete form yet, and a lot of people don't like it. I think you like if you get the rub of the green. Let's just say like
But
if you get
no one
decisions,
feels like they're gonna at the moment.
nah. But you know when you've got a goal against you and then it gets chalked for offside, it
Well,
feels like a win then.
that's that's one of the worst things about it, though, is because that magic has gone. A fucking like
Yeah, the
a goal out of
drama.
the blue, a
Yeah,
late minute goal, and this and that, and you're up. Well, not that we're fucking in the pubs these days, fucking, but like you're up off your seat, you're throwing your hands, you're fucking shouting, yes, come on, and all that, and then you're waiting for fucking 4 minutes to say that Harry Maguire's offside.
yeah,
So
yeah.
no, fucking, and that frustrated me the other day because look, Harry Maguire goal scoring wise was offside, but the defender's arm was past Harry Maguire. So why is it for us? It's fucking the goal scoring position, but for anyone else, if the defender's arm is playing them online,
Yeah,
like onside,
normally it's up to the shirt line. So if they're wearing a short sleeve, normally I'm
yeah.
sure that's where the
But,
line the
again,
lines get
I've
drawn.
seen all the contradictories. With Man City players in front of the goalkeeper in an offside position, and the goals stood, and fucking this and that. And it's like it wouldn't be as bad if it was just consistent. Like, surely they should be able to, like, if they're going to take 4 or 5 minutes to review a fucking offside, just go back and say, Jeff, right, the other week this was not given as offside. This is pretty much the same.
Mm.
So let's give this one as not offside as well.
Yeah,
It's just it's ridiculous. Yeah, I could keep going on and on for hours, but we don't want to. But the PGMOL, fucking, it's too much of a mouthful anyway, isn't it? But they need to just fucking get a grip, start sorting out what they need to do. Just regulate it properly, and it would help if they actually put it over the fucking tannoy, or at least on the TV,
mm.
what they're talking to each other about,
Yeah,
so we all know. But they won't do that because then they can't hide behind the mistakes,
yeah,
And I mean, it's the most sense that I've seen of Jamie Carragher with his Twitter the last couple of days. You watch him on the analysis after a game and that, and he just chats shit. But he's actually been shouting out about the poor refereeing and that lately. So it's nice to see he does know a thing or two about football, and he's not just Liverpool bias for a
mm.
change. So yeah, it's just frustrating being a football fan these days. But hopefully, hopefully it gets better. I mean, it's not going to happen this season, but they need to start sorting something out from next season now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, God knows what we're going to be like fucking in a few years' time.
The thing that's supposed to stop the drama and controversy is just making the controversy now.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when it was first going to be a thing, and the main fucking issue was people were saying, like, oh, we're not going to be able to have the conversations, not necessarily arguments, but what was almost an argument in the pub with rival fans and that about fucking that should have, like, been
Yeah.
offside or whatever. And, like, yeah, we've lost those sorts of debates, pub talk and that, to just moaning about the refereeing and
Mm.
fucking all this shit. So yeah, it's not good enough. Aside, the Premier League's meant to be the best league in the world, and at the moment, it's not.
Yeah.
Nowhere near it.
Yeah. Just to talk about the football, Newcastle, Dortmund, in the Champions League. I seen a banner that says it was from the Newcastle part. It says change from 20 quid. Thank you. So Borussia Dortmund tickets to watch Newcastle in the Champions League are less than £20.
I know.
Now it'd be hard to find a championship game for less than £20.
Well, yeah, it's mad that you mentioned that. I was actually thinking about it on my drive this morning over to work. Just in general, uh, so we've Old Trafford, 76,000 seat capacity. Now, you can't get a ticket for less than £50, but I based the math on my head as £50 per ticket. So just being at 75,000 capacity, you're looking at over 3.5 million
Yeah,
per game, and
they're the
that's
lower
that's
price
if
ones as well.
everyone was
Yeah,
£50. You think you've got your fucking executive boxes
yeah.
that are like 2-3 grand per box, and
And your
fucking
grade A games,
yeah,
like
yeah,
any Champions League game,
yeah,
any like Liverpool, Man City game,
yeah. They
it's
go up.
not £50.
No,
Yeah,
I mean I don't go to Old Trafford as much as I'd like to, but
there used to
uh,
be a waiting list.
to be fair, it's only been like pre-season and charity games that I've been to
Yeah,
as of late. The last one that I went to was against Bayern Munich. It was the anniversary game of the treble
yeah,
winning teams. Um, David Beckham was there. Great game. Just as he come on, like fucking getting announced and that, the whole fucking stadium. I get chills thinking about it again now, love, but every time he was on the ball, everyone fucking shouting and cheering.
yeah,
Fucking, he still got it as well. Fucking hell. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's that's what football's about, though. The fucking the atmosphere and everything. Not, I hate having to moan about fucking
yeah.
the refereeing and all this and that. But something needs to be done. They need to fucking get the arses into gear and fucking sort it out, because it's ruining the sport.
Right.
You know, you don't have these issues in the other leagues. You know, La Liga and fucking anything like that.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say it's just the Premier League that all these dramas are in.
I will say this though. I wish the referees, well, the league took a stand. Like you see how rugby players speak to the referees. They speak to them normal. They're not all shouting. So I feel like when the players take away the shoutiness, that everyone knows what's at stake, and just
Mm.
have some calmness. I think that will help the referees just keep a clearer mind rather than juggling like this player's shouting at me, this player's giving me grief. I'm trying to hear what they're saying. Also, you know, you got a million things going through your head at once. You don't need
Yeah,
20
yeah.
people shouting at you.
I
I
think they want to try and do that. Hence
they
why
should
it's
do
only
that.
the captain that's allowed to speak to the
Yeah,
ref now. But you know, this is why it baffles me why the PGMOL are making such a meal of it, because rugby's had it in for as long as I've fucking known about. You
yeah,
know, anytime, I don't know, probably 15 years or so that I have seen, since we've been able to go to pubs and drink and that, anytime I've seen rugby on the TV, it's been mic'd up and
mm.
essentially VAR, isn't it? You know, like, there's never been any issues.
No,
But
never seems to be controversy, do
no,
there?
no, they'll have the word like, yeah, right, I think this happened. No, hang on, this happened.
Yeah,
Fucking, you know, number 16 has fucking done whatever, you know, send him fucking a card
yeah,
or tell him to fucking calm down or whatever. And it just flows,
mm,
you know, and the clock stops. It fucking, it's, it's, it's all run how it should be run.
yeah.
You know, fucking, again with the United game the other night, fucking dramas. It was like, I don't know, 13 minutes added on in the fucking first half and this and that.
Yeah, it
Fucking,
was same with the Chelsea Tottenham game. I'm sure that was 12 minutes.
it's, you know, no, fair enough. Yeah, if there's a
It's getting to
stoppage for a
stop
reason,
time wasting, any
yeah,
like
if there's a stoppage for a reason, in yeah, Sam, because I know one of the incidents it was because there was a medical emergency
yeah, on
with,
the other, yeah,
yeah, with someone in the crowd, like, so I get it with that, but you know, surely it's just easier for the ref to go pause on his fucking watch and then just carry on that way. But yeah, as I say, I could talk about it all day long, but I'm not gonna. So yeah, PGML. You know, there's too many letters. I can't even
yeah.
fucking. Oh, it's like LGBTQ. Fucking Sam Smith
Plus,
shit. Um, he might do a better job than fucking Michael Oliver and that anyway. And you never know. He was Teletubby boots. God, they just blend in with the
mm,
pitch, won't they? But yeah, we'll leave it. Sidebar that for now. We'll
yeah,
wait for more fucking dramas to come out, and then I'm sure I'll fucking rant about it again in a couple of weeks, no doubt. Um, so we've got again another couple of emails, and as always, we do always appreciate it.
yeah,
For all yous at home, obviously, yous in general, unless you know what to do. Fucking send us your emails, your questions, any stories, or fucking anything you want to ask advice. You know, we're always good at giving advice, real advice. So email us at realtalkingpod@gmail.com. X Twitter is at AshandJD. Or obviously, if you're looking, watching us, sitting here, having a bev on the YouTubes, yeah, you're already on the YouTube, Real Talking Pod. Yeah, drop a comment on there. Don't forget to fucking give a little cheeky like and that as well. And if you are new, subscribe, download, fucking share it out. You know, you all know what to do. As I've said enough
mm,
times before, I listen to a lot of podcasts, watch videos and all that, and I don't do it enough. But since doing this, I do like
yeah.
try and do it as much as I can. Really, like, you know, think about it. Oh shit, hang on, I did enjoy that video. I'll click the like button. I don't really share it out because I've got no one to share it out to. Really, like, you know. No, but if I started sending it to the
Yeah,
lads, to be like, what the fuck's this? Like,
yeah. I don't
I
know.
don't
Do,
like
do
this.
people share podcasts? Though I mean, I've never.
No, but like,
I've obviously listened to these podcasts. Well, starting doing the podcast, I've started
mm,
listening to podcasts, and there's been a few that I've really loved, but I've never shared it.
yeah, well, it's just like if you're watching or listening at home, just click the share and share it to
Yeah,
like Twitter or Facebook or whatever. You know, there's no hardship there. Uh, excuse me as I have gone off screen for a moment and just get myself another beer because I'm at home, so I'm gonna have a good fucking drink. Um, but yeah, as I say, you all know what to do anyway. Just fucking like, share, subscribe, and download. Obviously, purely just on the podcasting side of things on the Spotify's and fucking Deezer, Apple podcasts. I don't know. There's that many of them.
There's that
Fucking,
many.
we're on fucking all of them anyway. Yeah, just download because we can visibly see the numbers of who's downloaded. We can't properly see how many of you actually listen, which we know there's a lot of you out there anyway. We appreciate it very much. So yeah, anyway, we got an email. So Carl's emailed back in. So yes, he had his question last week.
About like if an intruder walked in while you're having a shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he had that one. So we wanted to know what made him think of that. Was he pooping?
He was definitely shitted.
Well, so he says, no reason behind the poop question. Just heard it on another podcast. Fair enough. Sorry, my dog's fucking around. Do not knock that camera. Oh, God. This is the problem with doing it at mine. At least with Alfie, he's tiny. He doesn't fuck around much, any. I've got to give him a good brush again as well. Sorry, people at home. So he's got a question for us. If you could die once but instantly come back with no repercussion, what would you do? So I'm guessing he's heard this on another podcast as well then.
Well, that's a good question, actually.
So I suppose fucking that means like if you was going to fucking like do a suicide bomb or something, you're not going to get fucking any issues from it coming back.
So you basically you get an extra life, basically, and so you can do anything but get an extra life.
I suppose it'd just be if you really fucking wanted to end someone, you'd just like grab them, fuck yourselves off the building or a bridge or whatever. But does it have
to be suicide though? It could be anything. It could just be
if you could die once but instantly come back, you're not going to want to die of cancer and then come back, are you?
You know what I would love to do?
Excuse me.
Just be in space and then just float.
Just see what it feels
like.
like.
So just float. I think that'll be So just float as long as you could.
Helmet off.
But now keep the helmet on. But obviously you're gonna die.
I wouldn't want to lose oxygen because.
But you're gonna die anyway.
If you know you're coming back, you're not going to be as bothered about suffocating.
I would like to get slingshot as far as the universe as I could, so no man has ever been that far out, and just literally, just see what happens. The aliens there.
Jeff.
Yeah, that's my thing. I think I would like to get slingshotted across the universe as quick as possible, and just let me flow into my oxygen runs out.
You're doing that. I'd fucking get another submarine on the go. See what's really down at the Titanic,
Go down to the Titanic.
Yeah, trying to find the other bodies down there if they're not already fish food, So you'll explore space. I'll explore the ocean.
I'd love to see, obviously, see stuff that no mankind has never seen before. That I think that'd be like a really a good use of an extra life.
Well, I did see some pictures the other day of whatever new telescope there is that's out in space, and so there was the contrast of whatever old satellite telescope.
It used to be the Hubble. No, it used to be because they've done that new one, didn't they?
Yeah, so
you could see all the galaxies.
Yeah, there was the old one.
I think the old one was called the Hubble telescope. I think that was the old one, but the new one's called something else. Yeah.
So the old one, it took like 6 years to piece all the pictures together, and this new one, it was like 4 hours, and it was all together, and there was like you can see more galaxies in the picture.
Did you see the documentary on it on Netflix?
Not watched any documentary now.
Yeah, there was one about getting up in space because if something went wrong, I think it was 7 billion that telescope was. So if something didn't happen, it just flown away in space. Obviously, you just lost 7 billion.
Big gossip, wouldn't
you? Yeah.
But yeah, it's so the plan for this new telescope anyway. Look, it's gonna map out what it can visibly see anyway and take pictures of. It's gonna do a bit of a map of the universe essentially. So interesting to see
Yeah.
that lot.
No, that'd be good.
But yeah, if you're getting slingshotted out, you're going to be able to, well, not see it as clear as a telescope, or, but you know,
Like,
see fucking
just little pictures as well.
yeah. But
Oh
like,
yeah, that man, I'm happy with that. I'm
yeah.
happy with that answer. Actually, I think
What if like the math wasn't done properly? You got fucking like
towards the sun. Ah,
either the sun or like like the red spot on Jupiter or something. You
I,
go, shit,
you know what would
gas
be
is gonna
great? You
kill
know,
me.
if they're seeing a black hole, and I'd be like, just put me interstellar
So,
shit out of that.
again, like, so I was thinking this the other day, like, so black holes, they're just, well, again, from what we apparently know from the maths and that's done, it's like all the light, it's a massive gravitational field, and all the light and anything that's near it just gets sucked in.
Yeah,
But like, we don't actually know what's on the other side.
that's what I'm saying. So
So
sling.
what's on the other side? Like, because again, apparently white holes are a thing where it's light that's coming out. So who's to say that that's just not the other side of the black hole? Because if it's going in, what's happening to it?
Mm,
Like, yes, it's being sucked in and this and that, like, but fucking, it, something's got to happen with it.
man, that's
Like, because
yeah.
if it's getting in, is it making an object? Is it eventually going to like become a sun, or
That's a.
is it just coming out the other side as a white hole
Mm,
and shooting it all out?
I mean, that's a question I can't answer, mate. I mean, I'd love
Mate,
to. I'd love. Yeah, I
this
mean,
is
you.
kind of thing that goes through my head when I haven't got like my fucking podcasts or music on and that.
Mm,
Like shit, black holes.
just sling me through one. That's what I'll do, mate. So, Carl, thank you for your
Yeah.
email. Always
I
much
forgot there was a
appreciated.
fucking email there. Fucking yeah.
just,
Just going off.
yeah.
Fucking yeah. But yeah, Carl, yeah, appreciate it, mate. Fucking what would you do, Carl? If you've got an answer for it. Uh apart from I don't know, get fucking uh twatted while having a shit because there's a home invader or something. Yeah. Right, and then we've got little favourite Kirsty as well again. Appreciate the real talk, guys. Thanks, lol. Um, so this is an interesting question. So, what's the worst thing that's happened to you on a date?
Phew, I mean, do you want to go first? I mean,
Yeah,
because yeah, you go first, mate.
yeah. So, because normally we don't read the emails beforehand, lol, but I had a quick glance at this. So, I'm glad that we did actually, because fucking, I was racking my brain for 5 minutes while setting up, and in general, like I've never really had like any bad dates. I had some like just
Yeah,
you general, you go for a bite to eat or dinner and that, you have a drink and fucking it's not always gonna work out when doing that long, but it did pop in my head then. Fucking, I remember. I don't know. I don't know if it was like Plenty of Fish or something that I was on, but started chatting to this girl anyway, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go out, let's do something then." And I wanted to go for a drink or a bite to eat or whatever. Didn't want to do none of it.
mm,
She's like, "Let's go to the park." I was like, "The park?" But bear in mind, I'm like fucking 24 or something. So going to the park, I'm thinking, "What you
mm.
on about?"
Deb, you'll be going to jail after the park, mate.
Nah, she was around the same age as us. But she wanted to go feed the ducks, Sutton Park. I was like, all right, it's different. Never
Yeah.
done it. So I've wrapped up. Fucking, it was near where she lived. So like, I don't know if it might have been just as a cautious thing in case, like, I don't know, I was gonna fucking kidnap her
Yeah,
or
you're in a
something.
public setting, yeah.
Yeah, so I've rocked up. I've got a loaf of bread and that, like, even though you're not meant to feed the ducks bread, but it was before that was really a public announcement. And it was just so awkward. Like,
What made it awkward though?
it was just,
There was just nothing there. She
yeah,
was,
I was trying to like initiate all the conversations.
yeah. I
Fucking,
think they're the worst ones anyway. It looks like you're over trying. You're not being authentic
well, she
because
didn't even bring her own loaf of bread.
I mean, if
Like, she wanted to feed the ducks, and she didn't bring nothing to feed the
oh,
ducks.
you know,
Like, if I didn't bring none, what would have happened? Could have just looked at
just
the ducks.
looked at the ducks.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. So it was like a 15-minute walk. Like, I'm trying to have a chat and that, and I was getting next to nothing back out. And yeah, we stood there at this little bridge bit. I was just fucking, like, it got to the point because at first you're breaking up little bits of bread and you're chucking them
Mm.
and that. I got like halfway through the loaf. I'm like, I've fucking had enough of this. So I ended up just chucking full slices and letting the
Yeah.
ducks just fight over them and just grab little bits off and that. And I just, I just lost interest. And it turned out she fucking was the daughter of like my dad's mate. It was his boss, his boss's daughter.
Okay.
So I didn't know this at first, and it weren't until like a couple of days later, my dad's mates rang me. He was like, "Oh yeah, you went on a date with fucking such and such." Fucking, I was like, "Yeah, how do you know?" Because I hadn't told him. It's not like I speak to my dad's mate all the time, like, but yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, like fucking, I don't know why, but the boss fucking ended up speaking to him, put two and two together that it was me. Fucking, she had an amazing time and that." I thought I had
You
literally,
had the worst time. She had the
yeah,
best time.
like, and fucking, I didn't even like text or anything again afterwards, like, because I just knew it weren't going to go anywhere because it
Mm,
was fucking like I wasted a loaf of bread
mm,
and I couldn't get out there quick enough. And yeah, she enjoyed it and fucking, uh, like, apparently she weren't happy that I fucking, like, again, this was like a week or so later. She wasn't happy that I hadn't been in touch, and I remember just laughing on the phone with my dad's mate, like, mate, I fucking, like, told him everything, and I was like, got no interest. Like, would have been okay if she'd fucking spoke back and like, you know,
yeah,
had a fucking conversation, but it was just all one sided, literally.
yeah.
God, but yeah, so that'd be fucking more one really.
Oh.
Um, yeah, nothing else comes to mind. There probably is more than that, really, but yeah, that was definitely the fucking worst one
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, for me, I'm trying to said like you said, it's hard to think like. I mean, for me, it was so long ago as well. I mean, we're talking about coming up to 12 years now.
Well, yeah, because I've been with my missus for about 10 years.
And it was a different. It was different. All you had to do is just go, go to the pub or
Well, it
go to
was last week
cinema.
or the week before, weren't it? We was, you know, it was. I don't know if it was easier,
I,
but it was easier and harder on the one sense
uh,
because it was most of the time it was we'd be out and about, like we'd
yeah,
be at
you've
the
already
pub,
seen them before, and
yeah, and it's like, uh, so my missus was working behind the bar. I was seeing her pretty much every day because of being at the pub.
mm,
And then, like, with yours, it was like a part of the friend group that was always out with us
what?
back when we was
Yeah.
drinking early days and that all. So, it's fucking,
I, I know.
yeah,
For me, the worst day I had, and it was kind of my own fault. It was the worst day. So I was texting a few girls at the same time,
player.
and yeah, well, no, no,
No,
and
I'll put it out there now. Ash has never been a player.
that,
Fucking hell.
well, would you hear this story? So we end up, and in Betweeners movie,
Yeah.
I ended up watching that 3 days in a row with three different girls. And I hated the In Betweeners. I fucking hated it. I've never thought it was good. So
It
watching
was
it,
just at that time, because we still have it now when there's nothing good to watch on at the cinemas. And I don't think there was anything else on at the time either.
but I hated the TV show. I mean,
I was never a massive fan of it, really.
I just didn't get it. I just didn't get the hype. So watching it for the third time in the third day, I
Mm,
even remember the bouncer because I used to go to the cinema. The downstairs used to have like a little Barbie.
uh,
I remember the third day, the bouncer seen me every day, and on the third day, he shook his head and laughed at me. And the girl I was with said, "Do you know him?" And I was like, "Yeah, kind of," because I didn't want to go. Nah, it's because of fucking third
yeah,
time in a row. But yeah, yeah. I mean, it was expensive. I remember that. Like,
that was years ago. Any well,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
even worse now. The
'Cause
fucking price of it.
taxis,
Cinema,
yeah,
snacks,
snacks, and then
drinks.
whatever you go after and all that,
Yeah,
But yeah, that was my probably worst one. That was probably from my own doing now because said I just want. I remember just watching it like stumped, like tired from the 2 nights before, and I didn't want
mm.
to cancel because you know what you know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying. Yeah,
You're
you got
hoping for a
yeah.
a good time.
So yeah, I mean, and this would have been the Friday night because I'm pretty sure this would have was the Friday night one. So
Mm.
I'm more optimistic and because he wasn't a score night. But yeah, I think that was the worst one. That was from my own doing. But that was a great question actually.
Yeah,
It got me
yeah.
thinking. But it just when it comes to dating, you got to understand. Obviously, me and Jay's not been in this game, the dating game, for a few years
Well,
now.
no,
So
no. you know,
We'll probably think about it off the podcast and be like, this one.
if to be fair, yeah, if I
So
remember
we'll have to
another
revisit it
time,
if we do. Yeah,
yeah,
if we
then
think of
we'll
a
bring
better
it back
one.
up. Yeah, I mean, look, for a good couple of years before I got with my missus, I was just openly single. You know, I had some fun and that, lot, but I wasn't ready to fucking settle down because I remember the one relationship I was in, and to me, it wasn't properly serious. But within like 2 months, she was like, "Oh yeah, next year we'll have a kid." I was like,
Oh.
"No, we won't." And she's like, "Yeah, I want to have kids next year." And so I nipped it in the bud there. I says, "All right, saying if you have any kids, it's not going to be with me."
Mm.
Looking because you know I was like, I think 20, 21. Like I wasn't ready for kids back then.
Yeah.
Looking so yeah, a lot of them were like that, just stupidness where it's fucking coming out with overcommitting. I'm like, no, we're still fucking kids, really. Like, no, I fucking weren't ready for it. So yeah, fucking I had me a good couple of years, and then yeah, found a missus.
Yeah.
You know, fucking yeah. You try and be optimistic, but it's not always, is it?
No, but that is a great question actually.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
going to
just
ask for yours, Kirst,
and
because you ain't had some
cards.
fucking good luck, have you?
No,
Jesus,
no,
mate.
I can. No, you know what? I reckon she's got some stories. You know that because
Kirst, yeah, if
yeah,
anything's worse than fucking the smelly dick guy, then
I mean,
let us know. But
you can tell she's had some bad days. You can
yeah,
just tell.
yeah.
But now, obviously, tell us your bad day, please, Kirsty, and just
If anyone else has got a bad date story,
because
drop
there's got
it
to be
in.
people listening up. Nah, this really bad one
Yeah,
where
yeah,
So
yeah.
anyone that's that wants to tell us ours and shares their experience of a bad day, just please email in.
Yeah, I mean, don't be shy. Like, literally, fucking, will anyone that fucking messages in, especially at the moment, because it's not like we're getting fucking hundreds of
Yeah,
emails and that. Like,
we're
anyone that emails is gonna get
yeah
fucking read out and that. And that.
we're a small podcast with a big mentality.
Big mentality, big personalities, the realist of people, real life, real talk.
That's it.
You know how it is. But yeah, as always, appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Peace.